Zara and the chalk that drew real things. It was a rainy day. The sky was dark, and the rain poured down. Zara sat by the window and sighed. "I'm so bored," she said. "There's nothing fun to do." She couldn't go outside to play. She had already read her books and played with her toys. The room felt quiet, and the rain kept falling. Zara walked around her room, looking for anything to do. Then she remembered the old drawer in her closet. It was dusty and old. She had never really looked inside it before. Zara opened the drawer slowly. Inside, she found a small box. The box looked special. It had stars on it and tiny drawings of shapes and animals. "What's this?" Zara said as she opened the box. Inside the box were pieces of chalk, lots of them. They were colorful and bright. Some were pink, blue, yellow, and green. They looked like normal chalk, but when she picked one up, it glowed a little. "Ooh," Zara said. "These are pretty." She looked closer. The chalk felt warm in her hand, and it sparkled just a bit. She had never seen chalk like this before. "I wonder if I can use this on my wall," she said. Zara ran to her mom and asked, "Mom, can I draw on my bedroom wall? Just a little?" Her mom smiled and said, "Okay, but only on one wall. And don't forget to clean it later." Zara smiled big. "Thanks, Mom." She went back to her room and picked a pink chalk stick. She held it in her hand and walked to the wall. The chalk still glowed a little. Zara started to draw a flower. The pink chalk moved smoothly on the wall. It was so easy to draw with. She added a stem, green leaves, and a smiling face on the flower. Then she picked a blue chalk stick and drew a butterfly. Its wings were big and bright. She added little hearts and stars too. Zara sat back and looked at her drawings. They made her smile. "This is fun," she said. "Rainy days aren't so bad after all." But she didn't know something magical was just about to happen. Zara looked at the wall. Her drawings were bright and happy. The pink flower and the blue butterfly looked so nice. Then, something strange happened. The butterfly on the wall started to move. Zara blinked. "Huh?" she said. The butterfly moved its wings once, then twice. Then it fluttered right off the wall. Zara gasped. The butterfly flew around her room, its wings shining with blue and purple colors. It looked just like a real butterfly. She stood up, eyes wide. "Did I really draw that?" she said softly. The butterfly flew near her face and then over to her bed. It landed on her pillow for a second, then flew again. Zara laughed. "Wow, this chalk is magic." She ran back to the wall and picked up another chalk stick, this one green. What happens if I draw something else, she wondered. She drew a long green stem, then a round flower with pink and yellow petals. Just like before, the flower glowed a little. Then it started to move. Right in front of her, the flower grew from the wall. It bloomed, slowly and beautifully, like a real flower growing in a garden. Zara touched it. The petals were soft, and the flower smelled sweet, just like a real one. "This is amazing!" Zara shouted. "Everything I draw becomes real!" She looked at the magical chalk in her hand. It was glowing again, just a little. Zara felt happy and excited. She had never seen anything like this before. She ran around the room with joy as the butterfly flew beside her and the flower gently swayed on the wall. Zara picked up another chalk stick, this time purple. She laughed. "Let's see what else I can draw." But for now, she sat down to look at the butterfly and flower. Her heart felt full of wonder. "This chalk is not normal," she said with a smile. "It's magical." Zara knew this was only the beginning of something very special. And deep down, she was ready for more. Zara was so happy. The butterfly flew around her room, and the flower on the wall looked so real. She held her magical chalk and smiled big. "I want to draw more," she said. She picked a red chalk and drew 3 balloons. One by one, they popped off the wall and floated up to the ceiling. They looked bright and shiny. Zara clapped her hands. "They're real!" Next, she picked the brown chalk. "I'll draw a puppy," she said. She carefully drew a little puppy with floppy ears and a curly tail. Just like the butterfly and the flower, the puppy blinked its eyes, wagged its tail, and jumped out of the wall. "Woof! Woof!" it barked happily. Zara giggled. The puppy licked her hand. It was soft and warm like a real puppy. She hugged it. "I'll name you Puppy." Then Zara got another idea. "I want to play," she said. She grabbed the green chalk and drew a swing. It appeared right away, hanging from her ceiling like it was from a tree. She sat on it and gently swung back and forth. Her room looked so fun now. There were balloons, a swing, a flower, a butterfly, and her new puppy, Poppy. "It's like a magic playground," she said. Zara kept drawing. She drew a rainbow on one wall and stars on the other. She drew a tree and a toy box. More and more things came to life. But soon, her room felt very full. The balloons bumped into the ceiling. The puppy ran in circles. The swing almost hit a lamp. The flower's stem was growing sideways. Zara stepped on a toy by mistake. "Oops," she said, tripping over a drawing that had become real. The room was messy and crowded. She didn't know where to sit. Poppy barked loudly. The butterfly flew too fast, and the balloons floated everywhere. Zara sat on her bed and looked around. Her happy smile was smaller now. "There's too much stuff," she said quietly. The magic was still fun, but now it felt a little too much. She hugged her puppy and looked at all the things she had made. "I didn't know magic could be so messy," she whispered. Zara wasn't sure what to do next, but she knew something had to change. Zara looked around her room. It was full of things she had drawn. Balloons floated by the window. Her swing still moved a little. Poppy the puppy was playing with a chalk ball. The butterfly flew in circles near the ceiling. She smiled, but she also felt a little tired. Then her tummy growled. "I'm hungry," Zara said. She thought for a moment. Then she smiled big. "I know what to draw next." She grabbed a pink chalk piece and said, "I'll draw the biggest chocolate cake ever, with sprinkles." Zara started drawing on the wall. She made a big, round cake. She added lots of chocolate frosting and tiny, colorful sprinkles on top. It looked delicious. When she finished, she stepped back and waited. She waited some more, but nothing happened. The cake didn't pop off the wall. It didn't become real like the other things. Zara blinked. "Huh?" she said. She poked the picture. Still nothing. It just stayed on the wall like a normal drawing. She picked another chalk and tried again. This time she added candles and more frosting. Still nothing. Zara frowned. "Why isn't it working?" she asked. Just then, something very strange happened. The chalk in her hand began to glow. It glowed softly, then a little brighter. Then it spoke. "Yes, Zara," said a soft and kind voice. "It's me, the chalk." Zara gasped. "You can talk?" "Yes," said the chalk. "I only talk when it's very important." Zara looked at the cake on the wall. "Why didn't the cake become real?" she asked. The chalk gently said, "You've been using me a lot. At first, it was to have fun, to bring joy. But now, you're just making things without thinking." Zara listened carefully. "This chalk is magical," said the voice, "but it only works when you use it with care. It's not for making too much. It's not for being greedy." Zara looked down. "The chalk is meant to help, to create special things, to bring happiness and wonder, not to fill up the room or make a giant cake just because you're hungry." Zara felt a little sad, but she understood. "I didn't mean to do too much," she said softly. "I know," the chalk said kindly. "You were excited, that's okay. But magic should be used with heart, not just for more and more." Zara nodded slowly. "I understand now." She looked at her wall, at the picture of the cake. Even if it didn't come to life, she still liked it. It was just a drawing, but it was special. "Thank you, Chalk," Zara said. You're welcome, the chalk said. And remember, real magic comes when you use it for good. Zara smiled. She looked around her room, full of the drawings she had made. Now, she knew what to do next. Zara sat on her bed. The chalk's soft voice still echoed in her mind. Magic should be used with heart, it had said. She looked around her room again. There were drawings everywhere, balloons, flowers, the swing, and even her puppy, Poppy. It was all fun, but now she understood why the chalk had stopped working. I made too much, Zara whispered. I didn't leave room for anything else. She picked up the chalk again and slowly walked to the wall. First, she gently erased the swing, then the balloons. She even erased the giant butterfly. The room looked calmer now. There was space again. Poppy wagged its tail and barked softly, as if saying, "Good job." Just then, Zara heard a knock at the door. It was her mom. "Zara," she said. "The delivery person just dropped off the package. Poor thing, they're all wet from the rain." Zara ran to the window and peeked outside. She saw the delivery person walking down the street. Their clothes were soaked, and they didn't have an umbrella. The rain was still pouring. Zara felt a tug in her heart. She grabbed the chalk. This time, she didn't draw something for fun. She didn't draw something just for herself. She thought about the delivery person, and then she drew. On her wall, she carefully drew a big, warm raincoat. She added a hood and buttons. Then she drew a big umbrella with a strong handle and bright red top. As soon as she finished, the chalk glowed. But this time, it glowed extra bright. Zara smiled as the drawings lifted off the wall and floated outside the window. Down below, the delivery person looked up in surprise. The raincoat landed softly on their shoulders. The umbrella opened above their head. They looked around, then up at Zara's window, smiling wide. Zara waved. The chalk in her hand sparkled happily, but it didn't fade like before. Zara's heart felt warm. She had used the magic in a kind way, and this time, it felt even more special. She smiled and whispered, "That's the real magic." Zara looked at the magical chalk in her hand. It still glowed a little. She smiled and walked to the drawer. Slowly, she placed the chalk back inside. She knew it was special. She looked around her room. The puppy, the flower, and the balloon were still there. Everything else was gone. It felt calm and nice. Zara thought about the big chocolate cake she tried to draw. The chalk didn't work because she wasn't thinking kindly. Now she understood. "Just because I can draw something," she said, "doesn't mean I should." She remembered the moment she helped the delivery person with the raincoat and umbrella. That was real magic. It felt good. Magic is not for making too much stuff. Magic is best when it helps others. She went to the window. The rain had stopped. The sun was peeking out. Zara felt proud. She didn't need more magic, just the memory of using it well. "Thank you, chalk," she whispered. She would never forget this day. Moral: use your gifts wisely. Real magic isn't about doing more, it's about doing good. Toddy, follow for more. Toddy, subscribe for more magical stories.